Hi folks, it's Evo here from Thundermist Lure Company. Welcome to today's episode of Thundermist Fishing Tips. I am out here at the Whirlpool. It's a gorgeous day. There are a lot of people out here fishing today. As a matter of fact, the shoreline is covered with people, which is great to see because the trout are running. And that's what I'm hoping to get into today, folks, is some nice trout down here. And you know, I like to use roe when it comes to fishing for trout. And the roe bags are absolutely prime bait when it comes to trout fishing. However, today folks, what I'm going to be doing is I'm running the new Stingeye Spinner, and I'm going to be looking to spin for some trout. So I'm going to run these spinners and I'm going to let them get down as close to the bottom as possible and then slowly bring them back in and looking for trout, preferably steelhead or browns, but we'll see what we get into today. It's a gorgeous day, so glad you could join me, folks. Third cast in, folks. Third cast in. I gotta love that. That means it's gonna be a great day today, that's for sure. Okay, I gotta lighten up on my drag. For those of you who haven't seen the Stingeye Spinner, it's got a great big eyeball, which is a natural attractor. And the other very important thing I like about the Stingeye is the hook location. It's located right at the head, and that's right where these fish are hitting. So it makes for great hookups, that's for sure. And I've got myself a nice trout on here, folks, I'm sure. Well, maybe it could be a walleye, it could be a bass, who knows, but I'm fishing for trout. You never know what you get with a spinner. Okay, take my time and bring them in. Now, I'm running the size 4 Stingeye. And people ask me a lot of times, how do you know which size to run? Well, if I was fishing a small creek or a stream or a reservoir, I would run the size, whoops, I'd run the size 1 or 2. But because I'm fishing deeper water and current, I went with the size 4. In fact, I could have went with the size 3, but I wanted the little extra weight to help me get down there. So I'm actually running the size 4. And there is a nice steelhead right there, folks. Absolutely gorgeous and still full of a lot of energy, as you can see. But look at the coloration on that fish. Those are spawning colors, folks. And you see the colors on the cheek here, you see that nice red on the cheek, and it's got the nice coloration on the side. These are spawning colors. So, whoa, what a jump. Okay, well, I'm just gonna release him and get him right back in the water again. So let's maybe get a pair of needle nose and get him out. Absolutely gorgeous, folks. There is a great start to my day right there. Okay. Nice steelhead to start the day. We're gonna do a nice little release here. Okay, see you later. See you later, Mr. Steelhead. Okay, so that is a great start. Now, I've opened up today. I've brought a few different color spinners with me, and I've opened up with the silver because it's so bright today and sunny. But and I think I'm going to stick with it because third cast in and I got myself a nice steelhead, so I'm going to stick with the silver, but I might change it up. I might try the chartreuse, which is a nice color to use as well on bright days. And I keep the gold and the black in reserve, but well, that was a great start. I'm excited to catch another. I love steelhead fishing, especially when you're boatless right from shore. I'll tell you, that first one really hit hard, real aggressive bite, and this second one also gave me an aggressive bite. Really hard hit, folks. Okay, now the reason I like fishing so close to the bottom is these fish are hanging out. Oh boy, these fish are hanging out in the current, and what they do is they sit in amongst the rocks and they're waiting for bait fish to go by, and they're also catching their breath with fighting this current all day. So that's why I want, oh boy, he's a screamer. That's why I want my spinner to be so close to the bottom, and that's why I went with the size 4, because it's just heavier and gets down there much quicker, and that lets me fish right close to the bottom, right in the strike zone. Now, if you're above the rocks, I mean, those fish will come up after it as well, but it depends how aggressive they are. If they're not that aggressive, they're going to stay close to the rocks, but if they're real aggressive, they'll come up, you know, 4, 5, 6 feet and hit a lure. Oh, it's another nice steelhead, folks. Another nice steelhead. Oh boy. Oh boy. It's another nice steelhead. Oh. I think he saw the net and he's decided I'm going back out there. That's okay, I've got all day. What a beautiful fish. These steelhead are just gorgeous, gorgeous fish. And a steelhead, they're just a rainbow trout, but they migrate to the ocean. And in this case, we don't have an ocean, but we have the Great Lakes, so they're still considered steelhead. Okay. There we go. That's a nice, another nice steelhead right there. Beautiful, beautiful fish. Whoops! How did that happen? I got caught in a tree, folks. I got caught in a tree. Sorry about that, Mr. Trout. My net got caught in that tree in the back. The joys of boatless angling, folks. The obstacles we have to put up with. Okay. All right, let's get this just in the side of the mouth there. We'll get that right out. There we go. No worse for wear. Oh, there, okay, there you go. Go on, Mr. Trout. That's how you release a steelhead right there, folks. Not really, but it happens. But hey, that was a gorgeous fish. And I think it's going to be just one of those days today, folks, because that was only like 10-15 minutes in between fish. So I'm excited to get my line back out there again. But you know what? When it comes to boatless angling, there are so many opportunities out there. I've got some line twists going on here. So many opportunities out there for the boatless angler to catch fish. And springtime is ideal. Very ideal. And the other thing is here, as I'm casting, boy, he really got me all wrapped up there. But I want to mention, when you're fishing in tight quarters like this, I mean, my rod is 6.5 feet long. That's really wrapped up there. And a shorter rod is actually much better for casting when you're casting a shoreline like this and you've got limited room. So what I like to do is just choke up on the lure like so. Don't have a lot of line hanging out, and it allows me to get a cast out there, and a good cast at that. So folks, I just want to take a minute and explain the technique I'm using, because I just lost my silver Stingeye, and I'll get into that one in a minute, and I've tied on the silver black. But this is the technique I'm using. I've got a short for casting, because I've got debris around me. I've got a 6.5 foot rod, and I've got just a short, maybe 6 inches down to my lure, and that's all I'm gonna do. And that allows me, by choking up on the lure like that, it allows me some space to get a cast without getting caught in the trees. Now the other thing I'm doing is, after I cast, I'm counting down 8 seconds, and then I'm starting to retrieve. Now that's been working for me, which gets me down there close enough to the bottom, but not on the bottom. The reason I lost that silver Stingeye is because I let it go 10 seconds, and I ended up getting caught on the rocks. So rod tip down, reeling it in, and then when it's about halfway in, I just lift my rod tip up a little bit like this, because I want to keep it off the rocks that are close to shore, and then as it comes really close, I just reel it in and get ready for another cast. So that's the technique. I've had to go to the silver black because I lost my silver, but let's see if I can get myself into another fish. Well, there we go. What another nice hit. Oh boy. I'm loving it, folks. This Stingeye is really doing it today. Oh boy, tons of flash, tons of vibration, and that big eyeball, I know it's triggering these hits. This guy's going left, he's going right, he's pretty strong. Oh, I better lighten up on my drag just a bit. Oh, I got a screamer on here, folks. Oh, what on earth do I have? I must have a real nice steelhead on here, because he hit it hard. Oh, and he's been running. Running and gunning. Oh boy, we're having fun out here today. This is great boatless angling, folks. And what I like too, I mentioned about row bags and steelhead and how good row bags work. Oh, he's peel and drag. But he's just going. going with it. Oh. Yeah, but what I was saying with the row bags, they're a lot of work to tie those row bags up, and you got to have the row. But what I like about these spinners in general is they're readily available. You just put a few in your tackle box. Oh, grab your fishing rod, and you're fishing. It's simple fishing at its best. And this one just doesn't want to come in, unlike the other ones. Wow. He's really strong, folks, really strong. I don't know who's going to tire out first, him or me. Oh boy. What a better day what a better way to spend your day. Oh, it's a beauty. Oh yeah, that's a nice fish. Oh yeah, that's a nice fish. Oh yes. Another beautiful one with spawning colors. See if I can get him in here. Boy, did he ever take a run. There we go, in the bag. Oh, look at that fish. Isn't that a gorgeous one? Really nice. You see he's got that little color on the cheek again? Those are the spawning colors. And you can see the hook is just inside the mouth. That's going to be a very easy out and release for me. Okay, there we go. There's another beautiful steelhead right there, folks. That's a beauty. Oh my, he just made my day, that fish. He gave me a phenomenal run, and he made my day. I'm gonna make his day by letting him go. Okay, and away he goes. He took off like a bullet. I don't know, folks, boatless angling. There's tons of boatless angling opportunities out there, and if you get an opportunity, take an hour or two. Just get out there, find the shoreline, get a line wet, and have some fun. I'm having myself a riot out here today. This is great fishing. I want to thank you ever so much for tuning in to today's episode of Thundermist Fishing Tips. And as always, folks, until next time, good luck and good fishing. Wow.